let's talk about anything except how they're picking our pockets. Right? This Jade Helm 15 thing. Right? Greg Abbott, the governor of the state, asked the state, the state guard to monitor the operation so that, quoting Greg Abbott, Texans know that their safety, constitutional rights, property rights, and civil rights will not be infringed. All right, we got to worry about that. You do have that black guy running the military, you know. Even a former Republican lawmaker accused Greg Abbott of, quote, pandering to idiots. This, according to a roundup piece over at TPM. Ron Paul praised Greg Abbott. He says, I'm not at the point where I think this is the first step, and 6 months from now you're going to see martial law around the country, and I sure hope I'm right about that. Right. This is a verbatim quote from a Ron Paul video that was just released. Rand Paul, of course, says he's going to look into this. Ted Cruz says, now, keep in mind, our religious liberty rights, has this administration done anything to harm anybody's religious liberty rights? I don't know of any. Our Second Amendment rights, I mean, Obama has not even pushed for a return to Reagan's assault weapons bill. Right, take weapons of war off the street. Obama's done none of this. Our free speech rights, maybe Cruz is talking about Obama saying he wasn't happy with Citizens United's, which equates billionaires spending money to buy politicians with the right of free speech identified in the First Amendment. But in any case, here's what Ted Cruz said, and you can just hear the subtext of who's that guy in the White House coming through here. I think part of the reason is we have seen for 6 years a federal government disrespecting the liberty of the citizens. Really? He says, and that produces fear. No, Ted, what produces fear is a right-wing machine that cranks out constant paranoia and hysteria. That's what produces fear. People like you, Ted Cruz, produce fear. He goes on to say, when you see a federal government that is attacking our free speech rights, our religious liberty rights, our Second Amendment rights, that produces distrust as to the government. Right. Chuck Norris. U.S. government says it's just a training exercise, but I'm not sure the term just has any reference to reality when the government uses it. Right. I played Alex Jones's clip for you. Rick Perry is like, you know, I think it's okay to question your government. I do it on a pretty regular basis. The military is something else. But then, you know, in other words, he's not going to diss our soldiers, but he sure is going to diss our president. He says, however, it's perfectly legitimate to question the intentions of civilian leadership. It's, you know, that's a fancy way of saying the commander-in-chief, right? The only civilian who's the leader of the military is Barack Obama. That's it. The Joint Chiefs of Staff, they're all from the military. Every arm, you know, every branch of the military, the armed services has. Wow.